All right, we're back with the modeling a distillation apparatus, and so far we have the Graham condenser. We also have the spiral tube inside, and we've got a rubber stopper. And now I'm going to create the round flask that's going to hold the mixture that needs to be distilled and then condensed by the condenser. Okay, so I'm going to go Shift A, Mesh, UV Sphere. And before I do anything, I'm going to switch this to 16 segments. All right, I'm doing that because I want an edge loop right in the middle along here. You'll see why that's important in a bit, well, to make a hole in it. All right, I'm going to scale this up a ways. All right, I'm going to bring it down because I'm going to protrude a tube up, and I just want to sort of think about the relationship with this. All right, so I'll do Control A and I'll apply scale. I'm going to edit mode, vertex selection. I'm going to select that top vertex right here, X vertices. I'm going to come to the bottom, select that vertex. I'm going to turn on proportional editing, and I'm going to flatten the bottom. I'm going to scroll my mouse wheel up to get the right size that I want, and that's going to be good enough. Now, try to remember to turn it off. It's helpful. All right, Shift Alt and click that edge loop there, and we're going to extrude it up. E, and then pull it up like that. Okay, that's good enough for now. I'm going to work on, let's deselect that. Let's grab this edge loop and pull it up a little bit, and then Control B. Let's pull and roll my mouse wheel to get some segments. I'm going to grab that one and pull it up as well. And I'll probably have to pull that one up a little bit. Okay, let's make the hole. Control R, let's put down 2 edge loops. And let's go scale Z and pull them together a little bit. Put another one in the middle. And just like before, I want to make this a nice little square as best I can, like that. All right, I'm going to use a different technique. Last time I just selected the 4 faces and I inset like that, and we made a circle. And I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to do something different to make a hole in the cylinder. So I'm going to select that central point in this inside the square, and I'm going to go Shift S, cursor to selected. I'm going to select that central vertex right there, and then I'm going to bring in a circle and make sure that it's 8 points, similar to these 8 points here. So I'm going to go Shift A, circle, rotate X 90. So it's 8 points. I'm going to scale it down so that it fits within the confines of that. And I'm going to use this as a guide. I'm going to hit K to activate the knife tool. And I'm going to click there and there. I'm not actually clicking on the circle. I'm clicking on the face of the cylinder. I'm just tracing this out. I'm tracing a circle. Okay, to the last one. And enter. And now you can see that I've cut the yellow thing is on the actual cylinder. I'm going to Shift Alt and click on the circle that I brought in and delete it. Okay, so now I've got this here, all right, and I'm going to, in face selection, I'm going to delete those faces, and in vertex selection, I'm going to choose those and J for join. The free ones, J for join. That'll give it some support and make them quads. J for join. Okay, so I now have my hole in there. I'll do a little bit more work on that, and then I'll show you how it looks in sub D. E to extrude, and extrude just a little bit, and then E to extrude, and extrude more, and let's straighten this out as well. So let's SY 0. Okay, actually perhaps I was going to have to scale it down a bit. I'll just leave it like that for the moment, just so that you can see that it works, or it should work. Subdivision surface, okay, and smooth. All right, so that's another technique that you can use to put a hole in a cylinder. All right, I don't need that right now, or the smoothing. Okay, so this actually is going to need to protrude downwards. So let's bring it out a little bit more. Make sure that that's off. Yeah, it is off. And I'm going to come a little bit further, and I'm going to bring it down like that, and I'm going to rotate in the X just like that. Good enough. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, so now we're going to come up to the top and make a little lip for this thing and just decide if, yeah, that's fine. I'm going to leave it like that. Okay. E to extrude, S to scale, pull it out. E and S and come on up. E and S and go in a little bit. And then I'm going to stop there. I'm going to come back out, and now I'm going to put on solidify 0.03, because this is glass, and unless it's got some solid to it, it won't look very good. Hit apply and go back into edit mode, and I'm going to get rid of some stuff, this row and this row of polys. Okay, and I did this in when I did my flask video. All right, so if you haven't seen that, you can check it out. Now I'm going to shift alt and click that edge, and I'm going to bring this edge up in line with this other one, but I'm not sure. I may have to scale that back out a bit first. Okay, I want it to be at the same level as that one. And the way I'm going to do that is turn on snapping and vertex, and I'm going to pull up to that level there. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to shift alt and click that and go control E, bridge edge loops, making sure merge is not on. Okay, let's have a quick look at that. That looks okay to me. And let's go into edge selection and shift alt to click those edges. We're going to bevel. I'll bevel this one as well. Let's have a look with subdivision surface and smoothing. I'm going to have a look down here in a minute too. That's looking fine. Let's turn the snapping off, and let's just bring an edge loop up here just to tighten that up, and I think I'm going to leave that alone. That's looking okay. Let's come over here and see if I need to do anything. Let's see if I can put an edge loop. I'm going to press GG for edge slide, and I'm going to bring it down like that. And that's going to be good enough. That's going to be barely visible anyhow. That'll be inside this rubber stopper. So now that I've done that, I'm going to take this rubber stopper, Shift D, and copy it and bring it over. Rotate Y 90, and we're going to bring it up. I'll look down from the top and see how well it lines up. I'm going to turn this to wire. I just want to be able to see it in there, and I do, and so that's all right. Okay, but what I need to do is I need to rotate this. So I'll grab both of them. Actually, yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll do the liquid. Okay, fair enough. We want to rotate Z 90, just like that. Okay, cool. So far, so good. Yeah, all right. Okay, let's make the liquid inside here. Let's go into edit mode and wireframe, and maybe face view. I'm going to box select, say, that much. Shift D and P to make it a new object. Come back into solid and select it, and I'm going to turn off the subdivision surface. I hope we're not going to need it. And now I'm going to scale it, but I'm going to hold Shift as I scale, and just until it disappears. There, and it's inside. All right. Now, while we're at it, we could call this flask liquid, and we could call this flask, and this is the spiral. It was made from the plane, and this is a flask stopper. This is condenser stopper, and that's the condenser. I may not always do this, but it's good to have done it. All right, now that's done. Let's stop and think for a second. Maybe before we tilt anything, we'll work a little bit on the clamps and the retort stand. Make a ring clamp, I think, for this. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go Shift A, Mesh, Circle, but I'll go to something like 24. I don't know, 24. And I'll bring it down. I'm going to make a ring clamp, or a ring that the flask is going to sit on top of. I'll just go ahead and scale this. Something like that. It's not centered. Okay, do it like that. Okay, and I'm going to have my retort stand. Well, I can rotate this anyhow, it doesn't really matter. So let's go ahead and hide this and hide this. And I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to come into it, and in vertex selection, I'm going to look down on it. And let's have it come. Let's delete that vertex there and take this one and just extrude it back like that. Just anyway, for now. But let's smooth this out a little bit. So let's bevel. Control B, and then click to accept, and then come over to the side and choose, say, maybe 3 segments, vertex only, and then start pulling. Okay, and I'll add those points, and I'll smooth it out like that, and that's all I need to do. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll come back into object mode, and I'm going to go Alt-C and create turn it to a curve. So now I have the curve icon there, and I can choose full, and I can start churning this up, increase the resolution, smooth, and that would be how I make the ring clamp. We'll go ahead and we can do subdivision surface on there. Right? Poly count's getting up there, but that's kind of what I want to do. Let's bring back that flask and just think about this for a second. I might want to scale the whole thing up. Bring it down a little bit. And I might want to make that a bit thicker like that. So that would be the idea, and then this will connect through a clamp. So I'm just going to go ahead and extend this out nice and far, and that can be trimmed off if necessary. Yeah, but there'll also be another clamp holding it. I still think this needs to be a bit thicker. Okay, still looking all right. Yeah, it's still looking all right. All right, I don't need to convert that to a mesh right yet. What I'll do instead is I'll work on the retort stand, and we're not going to do anything fancy. I'm going to Shift S cursor to select it so I can bring my next object in there. I'm just going to bring in a plane for now. Move it down into edit mode. Let's just start scaling it and figuring out what we want to do here. All right, let's scale this in the X a little bit. And that's the back, so the front's going to be here. Let's bring that out a little bit. And something like that. Let's give it a try. Video extrude. Let's bring it down. Okay, the discoloration is because I'm moving in the not in the direction that I should be. Select it all, Control N to make sure my polys are all facing outside. Say I do that there, and I'll do some work on it, but the next thing I need to do is the pole. I have half a mind to grab this, Shift D, though it's a lot of vertices. Now I'm going to delete it. I'm just going to put in a cylinder. I'll go 18, and I'll bring that over here. And that's going to go down to there. And then we'll scale this. Scale Shift Z. Start with that. It's not going to be the final position of anything, but we're just getting things going. Bring that up. Now this metal piece here would screw in, but I don't need to show that. Jeez. All right, so we'd have something like this. All right, it should be centered, I hope. Yeah, okay, everything looks relatively centered. And so I'll take this and this because that's easiest, and I'll slide it back to like that. And then I'll actually have to slide it down now, so that a Bunsen burner would fit on here, heating this up. Yeah, I could go with something like that. Now if I just click smooth, but I come in here and I bevel this, I don't need to put a subdivision surface on it. I may need to put an edge loop down here. So that could be that piece. And then this, I could shorten that a bit now. That won't actually stick exactly in the middle of that. I'll show you how that's going to work in just a second. All right, let's select this, Shift S, cursor to select it. I'm going to make a type of clamp. I'm going to use a cylinder. 18 sides is fine. I'm going to rotate Y 90. And I'm going to go into edit mode, and we're going to scale Shift X. I think I do need to scale it in the X a little bit. I just want to think about this for a minute. This is going to have a spot where it goes through the retort stand, and then also there's going to be a spot where this comes out. So it's going to be like this. All right. Okay, you'll see what I'm getting at in a second. Take this. Let's make it just a little bit bigger. Scale Shift X. Like that. And then, yeah, I'll position it. I can move this, but it's going to be kind of like this. And there would be holes in this. I don't think I'm going to do those. Somewhat even anyhow. All right, well, I'll go ahead and I'll work on this. Okay, so here we go. Let's get rid of these faces and select these edges, and let's go ES. All right, so we need to switch to individual origins. Will allow me to work on each end without, you know, like in terms of I want to scale like this. It'll scale each side individually. So I'll do one there, E and S. I'll do another one, just like that. All right, and then if I want to extend them out in the X, I believe I got to go back, scale in the X, and I'm going to pull out like that. Okay, so it's doing it on both sides. E to extrude, scale, no, not that. If I want to scale now, I believe I got to go back to that scale. Yeah, I want to make a nice wheel. And I want it to be pretty much the diameter of that. So let's keep scaling to around there. Okay, E to extrude. Now I got to go back to medium point. Scale in the X, pull out. Okay, back to individual origins. E, S, we're going to come in now. Let's come into there. Let's do a little indent. And where am I? E, I think I got to go back to, and scale in the X inwards a little bit. E, boy, scale a little bit, and then we'll come out. E, scale in the X, come out a ways like that, and then we'll close it off. E, S, come in. E, S. Let's just merge in the center. No, you can, in order to do that, you can't do that. You gotta do them individually. All right, the merge in the center of that. So let's grab that Alt M, merge at center, and let's grab this one, merge at center. Okay. So let's now bevel a little bit. I can bevel both sides at the same time. Control B, like that, and we're going to bevel this one. I'm going to see Control B. Let's cancel all this stuff. 0, 0. There we go. Let's do it again. There we go. I can do it. Oh, I got something else selected. Actually, I should do both of them at the same time. Okay. Control B, and we'll round that a little bit. Okay. And I might as well round this a little bit. I will be putting on a subdivision surface, but I'll just round it a little bit. Rolling my mouse up twice. So far, so good. We're going to do some more stuff here. Let's go ahead though and put on subdivision surface. Okay, we'll do 2, and we'll hit some smoothing, and we're going to do some work in here. Let's do it individually, I guess, now at this point. I'm going to put 2 there. Actually, I think I will start doing what I want to do. I'm going to put, say, 5 edge loops there. That'll take care of that. What do I got? 1, 2. That's good enough. I'm going to simulate the thread of the screw. So like that. And now I'm going to take, let's say, the one close to there. 1, 2. That's good enough so that you can see them. 1, 2. And I'm going to hit E to extrude and scale Shift X. And I'm going to pull them out a little ways. So if you go and you look at that, it looks a little bit like a screw. All right. And we're going to come over to these guys here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Control R like that, and I'm going to scale in the X, and I'm going to pull out to near the end. Just like that. I mean, I could do this and mirror it so they're exactly the same, but I couldn't be bothered. I don't think it's that important. It's not going to matter that much, I hope. Okay, now I'm going to select all these faces. I think I can do them all. Select all these faces, and I'm going to go I, and I'm going to pull in a little bit till I get a pattern like that. Then I'm going to click on Extrude Individual. I'm going to pull down, and let's just get a sort of a side view of this so we can see what's happening. Extrude, pull down. That's going to push them out a ways, just like that. Good enough. All right, and then I'm going to add an edge loop on here. Control R. I'm going to slide it out to the side, right to near the other edge loop, just like that. And I'll do the same over here. Control R, slide close to the line. Don't have to hit the line. Okay, let's come out and have a look at what we got so far. Okay, so this knob here would control the tightening or loosening to slide up and down on the retort stand. This knob would control the tightening for this, and so you could position this where you want it. I just want to look and see if there's a little bit more that I want to do here. I might want to tighten this area up a little bit. And you know, some people would use mean crease. I tend to just throw in edge loops, you know, which maybe increases the geometry, but not too worried about it. Let's try 2 and scale them in the X. And I just want to have a look and see if I like it sharp like that or if I like it softer. I like it softer, to tell you the truth, for that part. I'll just do a little bit then on the inside like I was doing, just like that. That kind of thing. And this one, maybe this one here. I'll try to remember what I did and do the same thing on the other side. One here, and one in here, and there. Let's just see what that looks like. No, we're not texture painting it. Yeah, I like that look for that. Just trying to decide if I also would want to do something else here. I don't need to select. Do I want to tighten that up? No, not really. Okay. That's basically how that piece would go. And then we could just move everything over to align with that, with the flask for the moment, just because I don't feel like moving the flask and the liquid and everything else. So that could go like that. Now, because this can rotate, of course, it doesn't have to be, you know, perpendicular to this. I could turn this so that the flask was more central over the retort stand, and I could do that in a bit. Let's come down here and apply scale in case I didn't, and just I think we'll do the simplest stuff here. Can I even just put a bevel on there of 2 maybe, and bring it down and just smooth it and say there it is? I think I can. All right, so I'm going to need another clamp to hold this flask near the neck and to hold that, and I'm just not going to do that right yet. And I'm still not convinced that this is the correct thickness for the ring clamp. I'm not, although I would want to be closing it off. Let's just try 85, 0.09. Why don't I just do that and leave it at that? Or is that too thick? No, it's not. I mean, I've used plenty of ring clamps in my time, but I'm going to take this and go Alt-C, Mesh, and then I'm going to fill these ends in the edit mode, and it is quite packed. All right, I'm on median point, so let's use the period key to zoom in. E to extrude, S, E, S, and I think I'm just gonna close it actually just right there. And geez, do I have to bevel this too? I'll just put 1 just to change the smoothing. That's fine. Do the same on this one. Select it, period key to zoom in, E, S, 1 time, E, S. I don't even have to do the S probably. That, and then a quick bevel with just 1 segment. Just like that. And that's closed up. I could still make it shorter or longer if I wanted to. But this way, you know, you could turn that dial and it can go out further, or it could come in closer, that kind of thing. Alrighty, well, I think we need to tilt this now. Actually, you know what? To be quite honest with you, I think we need to turn this so that the flask is more central. No, that could be something I do. Well, no, I better do that soon, because if I turn that, that's going to adjust the angle of this. You know, because if I turn that, then if I turn it here and it kind of goes in like this into the middle, then this thing's not going to be sticking straight out, or will it? Yeah, it can. It can. I just need to turn this. What am I thinking? All right. Well then, what's that? Oh, that's the post. Okay, let's. If I grab that, that's all one piece, and I want to grab this. I want to rotate it around this. Shift S. Cursor to selected. Give me a minute to think this through. Gosh. That and this. Let's try it. Rotate Z. And it rotates around there, right? Rotate Z so that the ring clamp is roughly in the middle of the Bunsen, of the retort stand, so it's in terms of balance and all. Let's back off and just look at the retort stand itself. And that's how this thing is built, to be able to do that. Alright, well if that's the case, let's try this, the liquid. Alright, like that. Select that. Select that. And select this. And we're in front view. Oh yeah. Let's slide it over. Easier to maneuver this stuff, wouldn't it? Okay, let's try this. If it's reasonable. Okay. Okay, one thing I do want to do, I think, is make this a bit narrower. And also a little bit shorter. There we go. It's a bit more convincing as a retort stand now to me. Okay, this is still straight on, so let's work on this stuff. Grab this thing, and this thing, and this thing. Start moving it into position. I'll do the tubing later. Okay. And now I'm going to rotate this in the Y. Like that. Want the tube to protrude through the rubber stopper. Like that. Cool. I would need another retort stand with a clamp to clamp onto that. So, I might need another retort stand with a ring to hold the Erlenmeyer flask is what I'm thinking as well. Because it's not going to just drip down to ground level here. That's pretty high, but I want that high enough for a Bunsen burner. I mean, it can come down a bit. But this is a rather small condenser, though. That's all right. It's okay. It's a mini condenser. I'm just wondering if I want to be fiddling with sizes. I'm going to take this stuff, copy it and move it out there, and then I'm going to take it again. I'm going to try scaling it down. Oh, did I miss the inside? Okay. Ooh, I didn't finish work on this thing. Alright, jeez. Alright, good. I'm glad I did that. Let's grab that. Control plus all the way to the bottom. Okay, X, vertices. Grab that E, S, E, S, E, and merge in center. There, done. Yeah, I didn't finish working on that thing. Anyways, I need that, and that, and that. And I just want to get a sense of if it was to scale it down relative to this thing. If it starts to look a little bit more realistic, and I think it does. Alright, so that being the case, I want to go with that one. What I'll do is I'm going to bring all this stuff up, and I'm going to adjust some sizes a little bit and positions. Sorry about that, but that's okay. This, I may not change this. There are small flasks that sit through the ring just like that, giving a good amount of support, and I might like that even better. And then I don't have to change it. But I really do like the size better. Yeah. One thing I don't like is the size of this, however, and that's easy enough to change. Let's just scale shift Z a little bit. Let's see how that looks. That's a bit better, I think. Cool. All right, great, good stuff. Well, I'm gonna get rid of this stuff. Goodbye. All right, how are we doing with our poly count? It's not too bad. This is fun. This thing here, it might be a bit big. I'm going to see if I can scale this down in size in general, like that, because they're not that big. They just have a hole that goes through. Yeah, just like that. That's fine with me. Boy. All right. One thing that is bothering me a little bit, and this isn't the perfect position. Let's actually work on that. Back to this. Okay. Rotating the Y. I'm watching the line right here. It's pretty good. No one's going to measure it, are they? Oh, and did I notice whether or not it sticks through enough? No, it doesn't. What do I have? Do I still have it's all selected. Can I just switch to normal? Will that help me in any way? That'll help me. I want that like that. Just gotta make sure I got enough room, and I do for that. The other thing I'm looking at is this, and I want to I'll go back to global though. I'm gonna scale this in the Z. I don't care if it's a slightly different shape. And because I want it up a little bit, I want to see a bit more of that. That's okay. Is it okay? Scale it in object mode. Okay. All right. Yeah. Small flask, bigger condenser. Now we got the proportions a bit better. Okay. Let's go Shift C and bring that all back to the center there. Let's go to another layer though, and Shift A, mesh, cylinder. Just while that's there, let's go to here, just size wise. I'll make it a bit smaller though. Scale Shift Z, and just scale in general. All right, and let's bring it over here and just imagine it here. It won't be floating in the air, but we'll do something with this. All right, let's go into edit mode and face, and let's zoom in on that, focus on that. Get rid of these faces and grab this edge, not that one, this one, and let's scale the edge out like that. Let's take this one and we'll bring it down. Now we'll leave it right there. E to extrude, we'll bring that one up like that. We'll come down here. E, S, E, S, E, and then we'll accept it, alt down, merge and center. We'll grab this edge here, Control B, we'll give it a nice big bevel. Grab this one, we'll scale it in a bit more. There we go. Okay, we grab this edge, E, S, pull it out. E, and bring it up. E, S, bring it in a bit. Let's go out and add solidify. We'll do 0.03 again and apply. Go in and we'll get rid of the same faces we did on the other flask, that row and that row. Take this edge, I want to bring it up to the top, just like that, and we'll bring it up. Shift Alt and click that, Control E, bridge edge loops, turn it off, don't forget. Take these two edges and bevel. Take this inner edge and bevel. I know I'm going to need an edge loop here, might as well just bring it in. Let's try subdivision surface on that. 2. My little Erlenmeyer flask or some kind of flask there. Cool. Yeah. What do I want that to sit on? How about a box? Or do I want another retort stand? Because that ring clamp is not going to hold it. I need a wire gauze on it, and then I got to model the wire gauze. It doesn't end. Polycount. Let's try this though. Let's try bringing this whole mess of stuff over here. Just to see what it would be like. Say it was there. I took this and this and I brought it down. maybe I will model something for that. You know, it'd be cool if this one wasn't rotated, or rotated on a different angle, or this whole thing was rotated on a different angle. I need another one to hold this. Yeah, I think for this one, maybe might make it more interesting. Or maybe it's too perfect, the angles. And I don't know. Yeah, all right. For the moment, let's do this. Let's select this, Shift S, cursor to select it, and let's, for the moment, bring in a plane and just set it down here. Let's just scale this out like that. This would have to rest on here. I'll give it a bit of thickness. So a real small amount of thickness. And then this would come up. I can lower. Actually, everything needs to go down a bit. Let's say that was there. This and this and this would need to go down a bit. Alrighty. Cool. Let's have a look with just a OpenGL render. All right. I'm thinking that these retort stands are too high. I'm not sure. This could be almost a fireproof mat of some kind. Well, I'll leave that to later. Let's see. So what I need to do still is the Bunsen burner, the tubing coming off this, and another clamp to hold that. So I think I could do a really simple Bunsen burner kind of quickly. I hope and I think. But first of all, though, let's take this and move it back to the first layer. All right, let's see if I could do that quickly. I'll use a circle. 24. That's all right with me. Let's go into this. E and S. E and S. Like this. Actually, S a bit more. And let's bring it all up. This up. Let's do this. E and S a little bit. E. I'll have a spot where the air can come in. E and S will come out a bit. Come up some more. We're doing size wise. There's different sizes of these. Then we'll go E and S, come out again. Let's come back to here. E, and let's close this off here. All right, let's hide this. You're not going to see it, but might as well though. E and S, E and S, and then E and Alt M merge at center. let's start with some bevels here. Nothing too crazy. Just like that. Let's bevel these just the tiniest bit. What am I going to do at the top? That's the question. All right, well, I'll tell you what I am going to do is I am going to move this to another layer. Let's move it and get onto it. Okay. So what have I got? I got that there, eh? I have half a mind of just extruding that all the way down. I wonder if I could if I bridge edge loops there, just leave it like that. Let's put on a subdivision surface and see what it looks like that way. No one's really going to be looking inside it anyhow. I'm going to do something else in here in a minute. I guess I need an air. Do it off here, or do I need to do it below that? Let's do one more thing in here though. Let's actually bring that up. That's more what I wanted, and let's maybe we'll sharpen this a little bit. Again, there's different styles of these too. Okay, now we'll Shift A, bring in another cylinder. Rotate Y90. I'm just going to scale in object mode. I don't care right now. I could be doing a hole like I often do, but I'm not going to. I don't think in this particular case. Okay, I'm going to bring this out a ways. That would attach to the gas valve. I would scale down like this. And we'll do a couple of things here. I think I'll bring both of these. I bring them up, do them one at a time, and use GG. Ooh, not that far. Let's bring it to like there, and this one. That's what I wanted. Grab this one and scale. One GG, another one. It's not going to look overly realistic. I'm not even looking at reference. I'm just making stuff up. That way too, doesn't it? I don't think it needs to be that long. subdivision surface. Start wasting polys here. And maybe I would do a couple of edge loops here, scaling the Z, and a couple of spots. I might, not that, take a few of these and delete them. Doesn't have to be symmetrical. If I put solidify on, how will that fare? Get rid of that face. Not sure how well you're going to see in there anyhow. I could just do that. That's all I've done. You know, you see the wall out, but it just looks a little bit more convincing. All right, let's take that anyhow, and let's move that to the first layer. It's a small thing anyhow. What happened? There we go. There it is. Okay. Yeah, okay. I mean, you don't want to put too much detail on that thing. That could work like that. Alrighty, well, let's take a little break, and then we'll come back. We'll do the rubber tubing for the condenser, and I'll figure out some other kind of clamp to hold that condenser, and then we'll get the materials and render the thing.